You know, I see millennials and Gen Z online all the time accusing Gen X men of being bullies. But you haven't seen anything until you've met a Gen X woman. Those creatures have mastered the art of bullying. They're so notorious for being bullies that they made movies about it, like Heathers, which came out in 1988, probably inspired by Gen X girls. And then you have Mean Girls. Yeah, it's a millennial movie, came out in 2004, but it was written by Gen X women who have firsthand knowledge of what it's like to be a bully. As scary as Gen X men are, if there's one thing that Gen X men are afraid of themselves, it's a Gen X woman. For Gen X men, asking out a Gen X woman way back when was kind of scary because they didn't just let you down. They hurt your feelings while they did it. They could just say, "Oh, no, I'm not interested," but they would laugh at you and be all up in your face, just be like, "You want to date me? You think you're good enough for me?" "No, you're not." And then her and her friends would talk smack about you for like a week. My wife and her friends are a perfect example. Went up to Chicago recently to bring my daughter back down so she could spend a week with us while she wasn't in school. And on our way down, I sent my wife this text. She could have been like, "Don't be so mean to yourself. You're not fat." But no, she doubled down, and here you are. I remember my wife telling me a story about when her and her friends used to go out clubbing, and one of her friends got beef with this other girl, and they were sitting at tables that were pretty close together, and her friend would sit there. Remember how you could take matches on the matchbook and fling them? She would sit there and do that to the girl sitting at the other table. She wasn't just flinging them at the girl, she was flinging the lit matches at her hair that was filled with Aquanet. If there was a belt for the bully champion of the world, it would be for Gen X women.
We are Gen X.